Welcome. My name is Prentice Le Clair, and I'm the founder of Harmony Council. And this is our origin series. And this is about creating context and bringing in backstory to everything that we do here at Harmony Council. So I thought it was important that we start with my origin and how I came to found Harmony Council. And that kind of starts off with the introduction song. The introduction song is the flag song of the Ponca tribe, my tribe. And the song is a calling song. It's interpreted possibly as calling the people, calling the warriors to present yourself before the Creator amongst your people. And that really defines who I am on a spiritual basis. On my father's side, I'm Ponca. And on my mother's side, I'm Irish with a splash of British. My father was killed in Vietnam when my mother was 7 months pregnant. And that really impacted and defined the way that I related to my tribe. And that was through my grandparents. My grandfather was chairman and a few other chairmen in our immediate family. And on my grandmother, she was a hereditary chieftain line. And my experience with them was, they were very committed to the traditions of our people, the Ponca ways, the Ponca songs, the ways that they had learned from their elders. And they really wanted that to be what they were sharing with me. So all of my experience was based in their traditional and conservative values and ways of the Ponca people and the spiritual basis of the Ponca way of life. On my mother's side, that's the Irish side, it was, basically Caucasian, middle class, American, suburban background, 1980s. But my mother's mother was also a very spiritual person, and she was Christian, and she was part of the bigger movement of Christianity into the Bible-based non-denominational movement of Christianity. So my whole life really is defined on a spiritual basis, but it has two distinct sides, and those sides sort of defined, my journey as a person with just a little bit different perspective of one side in Native American Ponca and the other side non-Native. And these, really shaped how I came to really relate to myself and the journey that I've taken to bring together those two distinct cultures in myself, and how that archetypical journey really played out into a self-discovery and my identity. And that is really what defines my motivation for how Harmony Council was founded and how it's evolved as a social impact, business development and investing, but with a spiritually based mission. And really that journey in bringing that together, it sort of set me in sort of a different space where I had to really decide, what was it that I was about and what that story really meant. And that really was about this coming together, this weaving together, this flow of these two very distinct cultures, these ways of life, but not really, because they weren't really separate. It was an illusion, because spiritually speaking, there was that same communication of a commitment to that deeper self and defining who I was based on that, rather than who I was based on my cultural heritages and how those impacted my interpretation of who I was and the life that I was leading. And for me, I was able to draw on both of those, being in the 1980s and, and the whole sort of other and the disillusion of identities and, just arts and good education and, just completely privileged to live in America. And that whole coming together of that was because as I grew up, I really needed to understand what was it that were my values, what was it that made me, and how did I express that? And I began to just learn and travel and explore and see so many people that I just saw so many commonalities, so many people, expressing the same spiritual self, but really not communicating that to each other. And for me, that was something really important, because I needed to be able to express both being Ponca and both being Irish, non-native. And I really started to look around and see that there was this space, this idea that there was an other and a separation, and really that was not the case. And because of that, I started to say, I'm not going to see a separation in myself, and so why is there this separation, that I'm projecting out from me? And so with that, I really started to draw on both sides of my heritage, and the Native American Ponca ways were really showing me a way to understand and interact on the relationship to nature, to the earth, to the environment, to my people. And that idea of my people was a very distinct kind of an understanding that happens. And I started to sort of expand that into everywhere I went, and I really started to communicate to people on that spiritual basis, and really drew on all the beautiful and amazing things that cultures and individuals have. But that idea that we wanted to have some place and something that was tangible and real world that allowed us to interact and express that oneness, that community. And through that, I really drew on my Native American heritage to create a return to that sort of balance, that harmony of differences. And so Harmony Council is like a tribe. And the idea is that Harmony Council is to bring together this harmony of differences like nature, and create sort of, a return to humanity and its stewardship of the earth, as well as, the way that we treat each other based on that oneness, that idea that there really isn't any sort of a separateness between any of us. And it's through that I felt that Harmony Council could look out and begin to bring people together with this perspective and this understanding that there's real world solutions that can be done and brought together if we can all take the time to really communicate to each other. And my own personal journey of bringing together and communicating that two distinct sides of myself has allowed me to be in a space where I'm able to be free of my own prejudices and my own distinctions, and allows me to understand other people that we hope will join us as we look out and define ways to do real world change, to take back the idea of how we treat ourselves, how we build our communities, and how we create economic development. And from that Native American Ponca way, it's important that we understand the responsibility to economic development and spiritual development as we choose to do things that can and will create a better environment, ecosystem, biosphere, And through that, I hope to share the ways that I was taught. And I want to be clear that I'm not representing the Native American community in this country or globally or any other indigenous message. I'm not even representing my own tribe alone, nor am I representing all Irish people. I'm just simply bringing together these things that created who I am and trying to bring them into a community and a company and in a tribal organizational structure that allows everyone to come in and contribute and find their place. And that's what Harmony Council is. That's what we're seeking to achieve. And we want to do that in a way where we're also blending together traditional and modern and innovation and creativity and the voices and ideas of everyone, because technology today allows us to be able to communicate and exchange and express ideas together like never before. So my feeling is really love to have more understanding of how and what we can do to be a part of this community that we're building and this return to the global relationship of our earth and humanity. So I look forward to it. I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love you to share your origin with us. So come join us here. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.